clothed in purple apparel, like those established men who were esteemed by the world. Nor was he like the evergreen of the countryside, for there was no beauty that made him desirable. He knew sorrow by his first name, and even grief by first and last. They despised his very countenance and detested what he stood for, regarded as a curse, like an idle word proclaimed in anger. If only they realized it was the propitiation and substitute, the Holy One born of a virgin in a manger. Since the beginning we've understood that God is holy, perfect and omnipotent. Therefore his standards can never be met by us, for we're the complete opposite. Instead we are liars, blasphemers and adulterers, fornicators, manipulators and cowards. Instead of standing out, we rather like chameleons blend into our surroundings. The story of the Christ has sometimes been misinformed. I was told the Son of God was crucified, died and rose on the third day, and that was all. And this was called Easter. Nobody told me the cause, the purpose, why this one man suffers so brutally like a thief from the country of my origin. So I read and I found out in awe of him being a father, Jesus submitted in obedience to the will of his Abba. Willingly he offered to bore the iniquities of the masses, and to drink the cup more poisonous than the religious fanatics. Righteous in their own eyes, so they stroll through life as if God is unjust, and his ways are fathomable like the ways of man. Not knowing cursed is a man that trusts in man and makes flesh his strength. Think about it. If God is not just, then why send his only son to satisfy his wrath? Why crush his son, living him draped in blood, mocked, spat on, treated like an incompetent man? What is the meaning behind this plan? If God is so loving, then why didn't he save his only son? Then I read John 3:16 and it said, God so loved the world that he gave up his only son. Meaning he offered him as an atonement and allowed him to go through pain that cannot be described by words. Furthermore, this was not in response to our worth, for even frogs are better off than we are. At least they do not worship lifeless idols that are powered by men themselves. At least they do not kneel and kiss the rings of mere men who claim to be immortal kings. But this act of pure love was best translated on 1 John 4:10. This is love. Not that we love God, but that he loved us and sent his son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Also Christ loved us, for he and the Father are one. Before the dust was upon the earth, before the oceans existed, they had a bond that was unbreakable. So knowing for the first time he'll be separated from his Father, he chose not to kill to save the culture, but to lay his life to save the world. And that meant going through what no man is ready to go through. The wrath of the Lord of Heaven's army, subsequent flogging that produced stripes, and by those stripes we are healed. Crowned in thorns, what was more excruciating, the pain or the mockery? Carrying yours and my sorrows on his back, his mouth zipped like a suitcase awaiting travel. He was led to the slaughter, condemned by false evidence. They nailed his wrists onto a tree, and didn't know that he once said, when I am lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. It pleased the Lord to bruise him. While mere men thought they were in control of the king's life, around the 6th hour, darkness covered the earth until the 9th hour. They fell of the temple 2 in 2, and with a loud voice he cried, Father, unto you I commit my spirit. So who was in control? First he descended and he ascended, and blessed each one of us with opportunity to become his descendant. He would not reject a broken and repentant heart, for he did not come for those who think they're righteous, but those who know are sinners. God is calling you, yes you. There is no excuse to live a godless life. Prepare for eternity, for woe to the man in the iron cage, enslaved by carnal desires but too proud to call upon his maker. For only sorrow awaits him. This Easter, as you celebrate with your brothers and sisters, friends, sons, daughters, mothers and fathers, make sure you reflect on the true meaning and the greatest love story ever told about a Holy Father and a Messiah named Jesus Christ, who was in control.